Well, another year up north judging. How long have we been judging now? This is to certify that Mr. Gary Morgan has been awarded membership of the Association of Royal Canary Judges, having passed the examination of the governing body. So are my chairman Dave Backhurst and Steve Barnett. 2004, 20 years. Oh God. Oh, just go out a shower. Oh, I'm a bit rough. Only if I can make the bed for me. Oh no. Can you say that these days? Can you ask your wife if he'll help you? I don't know. That's good. Gaz, morning. Today the bird show. God, don't look very happy. Have you made a cup of tea, Cock? You're not talking to me today. Well, Missy's not speaking to me, but she still made me a cup of tea and got some biscuits out. That'll do. This is the bit I'm not keen on, signing these. So, let's have a look. Oh, so to sign this is. Hey Morgan. We're getting there. Not my favourite job signing these. So I've had a few issues today trying to get him to sing, so there we have it, look. Ken's rigged up this light for us. There you go. There's the cages. Still on the first batch, but they're singing better now. I don't think I'd die for it and appreciate this lamp, but I've got a job to do and I've got to try and get these guys to sing in the requisite time, of course. I'll open them up, them are warmed up nicely now, so I'll swap these over shortly.
But when you've got your top breeders died, passed on and what have you, you're up against it, Darren. You really are. I mean,
Look on them there. Hi Darren. Sort it out. Sort it out. Hello, my name's
Shout it up. Don't forget to get the word.
You can edit this later, can't you? Yeah.
Just hold it there. I talk loud.
Yeah, hi, my name's. Wait a minute, we'll pause.
Gary will edit this, won't you?
Hello, my name's Darren Pinkney. I'm a member of the LEEDS Northern Roller Canary Club and a member of the Judges Union. I started breeding and contesting rollers in 1985 and had a break for quite a number of years and started back up in 20...
So Darren, you've got a continental strain, origin strain, and that means you've contested them in Europe, hasn't it?
Yeah, contest them. Yeah, we used to send them over to Rashid Popels in the Netherlands. We've done that for several years, but unfortunately, due to Brexit, we can't get them over with quarantine rules. You know, it makes it impossible. And difficult to get the birds over there to the Netherlands. now, the gym, so, you know,
Yeah.
that's sort of stopped.
A larger consideration from my point of view is the dislocation it's caused between the UK and Ireland. We had a close association with the 4 Irish roller canary clubs, with birds going to Ireland and from Ireland for contesting, and with the advent of COVID and then Brexit, that's been impossible. It's difficult to underestimate how important that's been.
So, Jim, what strain of birds do you have at the moment?
Well, my own are a bit of a mixture. Sometimes it's difficult to keep a strain going, especially when the source is gone. Prominent among our members, birds are birds from a breeder and superb former exhibitor in South Wales called Di Howells. So his strain, the birds that have come from him, which date back to another great breeder in the NRCS Midlands clubs. And unfortunately, he's isolated now in South Wales from the shows by distance, but still breeding birds, and we hope to get some more from him.
Yep.
Oh, sure. So bored when they finally got, and it was actually like the show, and we heard.
And the thing was, the wind, you just go up and wind. And it's strong as how to say.
You tell me, Mary. You tell me.
They're working for G. So we took our weekend and really did. So he says to me, he says, where do you have your meetings like what we? I said, you've got a show, you have another show. Can you remember that morning? I'm sure you're looking at it. I spoke to you about it prior to it, and you were on Emmswick, so that stands out, yeah. And what it was that down in Midlands, we've not the age of the book. I said, you're on the way with bloke, you know, I can't remember.
So, Darren, you mentioned the ARCJ.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us what that stands for?
ARCJ is the Association of Roller Canary Judges, which certifies judges' appointments and ensures that the song standards is maintained.
Yeah, okay. I cannot overemphasize the importance of the ARCJ and its judges. They're a whole different level of experience and dedication to the general run of roller canary keepers. We're absolutely reliant on them, on the generosity and dedication. They travel maybe 100 and odd miles to a show. If there's a full class of 60 birds, that would be 7.5 hours judging, and the judging fee is the big money, is the reason they do it. £16. Hasn't changed in all the time that I've known. They're superb. They're the glue.
And you used to travel to Ireland quite a lot as well, Jim, didn't you? You and John.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, with some superb Irish judges, sadly now passed.
Yeah.
I think there's just the one certified judge in Ireland now, and the dwindling number here. But we've got enough, just enough really, to cover our show programme, and long may that continue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah. Room for a little one on this end now.
There we go.
There we go.
Hi guys, I feel like David Dickinson on Dickinson's Real Deal, just jumping in when you're doing a deal. So basically, we got two stalwarts of the roller industry, if you like, and on my far right here, I've got Darren Pinckey, who's presumably probably at this moment in time got the best birds in Britain. Can you tell us a bit more about your strain?
Yeah, got my birds in 2014, 2015 from Rashid Popel in the Netherlands. Contested them over there for a while on the four bird team. Is the way they do it over there with the 4-2ers, Gary, and sort of developed them from there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Jim, you've been secretary now you've been in the roller fancy probably 20 years, haven't you?
No, it's a bit less, I think. Yeah, I don't remember, but a bit less, maybe 17, 18 years.
Let's just mention a few topics. So, I mean, what the roles of a secretary and what have you. I mean, if I say rings, when do you order the rings?
Well, again, this is usually done before Christmas, and the members order the rings with the club secretary, who passes them on to the secretary of the British Roller Canary Association, Irene Westmoreland.
Yeah.
So Irene orders the rings from the supplier, and eventually gets them and parcels them out as per order to the clubs and to the members. Now, the ring has the information on it which marks that bird as being exclusively bred by the member. Okay. So you've got the year of breeding, you've got the individual members' dedicated number, 607 in my case. You learn to recognise them all after a while. So
on the ring, Jim, you got traceability for the fancier, traceability for the bird, traceability for the NRCS or the BRCA. So
absolutely, yes.
Obviously, for a BRCA ring, you'll have what will BRCA?
So I'll B23 or B24 for this year. The NRCS N24, and then the individual breeder's number, and then the numbers of. So I might order 40 rings, and I'll receive those rings. B24, 607, 1 to 40.
The NRCS will have an N code. BRCA will have a.
That's right.
So that's how it works basically in GB at the moment.
And it's worth noting, isn't it, that those rings are proof, like nothing else, of the fact that those rollers are true bred.
Strains. I mean, I've done the role of a secretary for bygone age, really, for the York and various bits and bobs. I was chairman for the NRCS for probably 10 years, and I realised the amount of work involved. So when you're about to you take your orders off your club members, you give it to the BRCA, who then get the rings from the supplier and supply them to you at cost. Obviously, you obviously get them back to the fancier. When you got a show coming on, presumably you got to order some show material, book a venue.
Absolutely, there is fortunately it's all set out in documentation, which after sufficient experience you never refer to again.
Yeah.
But you've got to get every step. First of all, you have to put out the prospectus for the show and invite entries.
Okay.
When you get those entries, you draw them up. You allot number of classes according to number of entries received.
Yeah.
And then you have to do what we term the draw, but which isn't random. It's the allotting of birds to a space 1 to 60 in the case of a full class, minimum 1 to 30 for a qualifying class.
Yep.
So you've got to work all that out, make sure there are no mistakes. Then you write the labels. Then you put those in envelopes with packing slips on which those cage numbers are recorded.
Excellent.
And post them off to the members.
Obviously you got to sort of let people know what's happening. So after the show, Jim and the BRCI generate a catalogue.
Yeah.
And in the catalogue, you got all the results. You got all the reports of the classes.
Yeah, that's a replication of the judge's sheet.
Thanks, Jim. Now just a quick one. While we got Darren Pinky here, probably one of the finest Roller Canary breeders, fanciers we've ever known in Great Britain, if I'm honest. In my era. Can you just give us an overview of how you train a bird and when you start training? Let's go from a bird who's probably he's probably 2 or 3 months old.
2 or 3 months old.
So I'll take it on from there, and I've got to get back judging.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay. Thanks, Gary. Yeah. Well, different. I mean, there's different breeders have different ways of training the birds. I like to get all my birds through the moult in the flights. Cocks and hens together. I let them get through the moult, and then what I do is I separate them. Put the cocks into like a smaller training cage with a curtain over the front, so it's not really dark, but just like a sort of dim light, so the birds can still sort of feed and water, and then gradually opening and closing the curtains, and the birds start to realise once the curtains is open, they'll start and sing, and do this 2 or 3 times a day. Until you sort of get them where you want them. Then from there you can transfer them into your contest cages, which has a door on, the 2 doors on the front. They get used to then being transported with the doors shut, and then when they get the contest, the judge opens them. It's the same. The light, they get the light and they start to sing. Hopefully. Yeah.
Just turn it off, Karen. Right, we have here one of the contest cages. This is a bird that's already been judged, so we're not disturbing anything by opening him up now. Darren mentioned the training and the contest cage. So the training cage is the similar plan to this. It's got the same front, it's got the same spacing of perches, it's got the same decops for food and water. Just doesn't have the opening and closing doors. So a lot of training is accustoming the birds to this layout, and as Darren said, introduce them to the cage. And get them used to being opened and closed, and then travelling, movement in the cage around the house, movement from the house into carry boxes, to the car, and travel opened up in strange surroundings, which roughly mimic the judging situation, which is with a person sat at a distance of, what would we say, about really only about 4 feet?
Yeah, 4 feet.
Yeah. And all this is so that they're not startled into silence. Everything is done very gently, so that the bird is quite accustomed to hopping across from the training to the contest cage. A bit of apple in the bars is encouragement. And then used to the whole movement, change of scenery, so that when they get into the judging situation, they will sing as they are naturally inclined to, but strange surroundings, shocks will silence them. So everything is gently introduced gradually so that the bird is absolutely comfortable with that situation. Otherwise, when they get to the show, they get what is the disappointment of new fanciers, particularly a judge's sheet. Where are we? There it is. And on here you'll find 1 or 2 that have no song. And it's a bird that's maybe just doesn't feel inclined to sing on the day, but it might be a bird that hasn't been adequately accustomed to the whole process.
Nice bird, him.
Yeah. That was worth the wait. Get him down, mate, on the floor.
Nice, isn't he?
Yeah, get him down. Is that one of yours?
Aye.
That's it.
So, Darren, you started in roller canaries long before I did, and with a substantial break after. But what was the difference from that time to this in the shows?
Well, I mean, then when a good few years ago when I first started, there was, we used to travel to the contests. I used to go with a guy called Brian Chapman them days, and
I remember him.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, yeah, nice man. And I can remember the classes then. There was classes of 60 birds, and there might, be 3 classes, 3 A classes, champion birds,
and then
3
amateurs.
B classes, amateur birds,
and any age,
and an any age class, and that's how big it was then,
Yes.
And it would start early and run right through till like 6 at night, and the number of people that was there, it was very, very busy, very busy.
That's right. It was much more of a social occasion, wasn't it?
Oh yes, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
It was. Yeah, much
Yeah,
more.
I can remember when I started back, like I say, maybe 17, 18 years ago. And it was common. Today, here, we have a total of 64 birds, something like that, in 2 classes. Minimum class number to qualify is 30, so we've achieved that. We always want to have 2 classes because that allows judges to enter their own birds without judging their own birds, which is against the rule. So, but I can remember particularly NRCS shows in the Midlands where you were talking up to 400 birds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And as I say, so many people coming and going and staying, and so it's got a lot smaller and quieter, but we're still going.
We're still going, yeah. We're still going here at METHLEY and WIGAN Club, and LEEDS and WIGAN Club, and and we'll just carry on,
Hopefully. Year
carry
to
on.
year.
Yeah. And look, we're always looking for new members.
Yes, Gary mentioned earlier about rings orders, so all members have ordered rings for next year.
Yeah.
And cross the fingers, they'll breed birds in the quantity needed to have enough birds for another season show next year.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim.
I want to say a little bit more about the contest cage and its fascinating history. It's the reason why roller canary contests aren't advertised, and no member of the public or anybody who isn't into the rollers will likely come. And the reason is, Darren, because there's nothing to see.
Nothing to see.
Except tables with rows of boxes on. Now, there's a specific reason for this. The contest cage is designed to make what in modern terms is a level playing fields for all the birds and their breeders. As we've said, a full class of 60 birds judged, 4 birds for half an hour. That's 7.5 hours judging, maybe a half an hour break for the judge in the middle. That's up to 8 hours. The cage has, you can't see it there, but it's got a hole in the top and it's got a hole in the back, which give adequate subdued light for the bird to move about, feed, drink, but by design is dim enough to discourage the song until those front doors are opened and it's flooded with light, and the bird, if well trained, will begin to sing. Not in this instance, we're a bit too close, aren't we?
Yeah. That's the idea of it.
That's the idea of it. The other reason for the design is that this is a very old hobby. This Leeds Northern Roller Canary Club was founded in 1907. There's a club in the south of England based in Essex, I think at the moment, or Middlesex, whose name, the British 1901, tells you the year it was formed. And there used to be scores of these clubs back before and after the Second World War, which are sadly diminished now in numbers and the number of members. Back before there was car ownership was general, the contests used to be 4-day contests. The birds would be taken in their contest box within a carry box to the local station, put on a guard's van, sent to the show venue. At that end, they'd be collected, taken to the show venue, staged, judged, and the shows were 2 days then, so the birds would be sent on the Friday by rail, sent back on Monday by rail to be collected at their local station. In fact, we can probably blame the decline of the roller canary shows on Dr. BIRDS.JIM way back, when the comprehensive reliable rail network was started to be dismantled, and then came nationalisation and everything else. So consequently, the show now is a one-day show. You have to drive to maybe from near Tewkesbury. At one time, you'd have been driving to Scotland or the northeast of England. Even today, I've come about an hour from the other side of the Pennines. Darren, you've travelled?
From the northeast, Bishop Auckland, from Bishop Auckland down to Leeds. Yeah, about 80 mile.
Yeah, an hour.
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half,
steady,
yeah.
Steady away.
That's right. And then we've the trip to back. And it's always winter.
Winter.
It's always winter.
Yeah, it's always winter.
Our judge today, I'm guessing 120 miles.
Oh yeah, Gary, yeah.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of history of the cage. It's beautifully designed for what it is. An interesting thing is that because of the age of the fancy, and some of this equipment is very old, they used to be made of sawn timber, and it's interesting when you're lifting cages, they look identical, they're made to identical pattern, they're designed not to be distinguishable one from another, but you lift a very old one and it's a featherweight. You lift a recently made one from plywood and it'll be easily double the weight.
Yeah.